Both sides in the Sean Diddy Combs case have until today to give answers for how the music mogul has been communicating from jail. Combs appearing in court last Friday seeking bail while he awaits trial. He's been held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn since September. Mills Hayes is back now with more. Mills, why exactly has Diddy's bail decision been delayed?
Hey, good morning, Nick. Well, the judge requesting more.
All right, in just a few hours, Sean Diddy Combs will be back in court with yet another push to be released as he awaits trial on his sex trafficking and racketeering charges. The music mogul has been behind bars since September.
Diddy's third attempt at securing bail is making waves, and the stakes have never been higher. After 2 failed attempts, the mogul's legal team is gearing up for what could be their last shot at freedom, at least for now. With mounting evidence against him and the public eye more focused than ever, the big question is, will this third attempt actually work, or is Diddy's fate sealed? This time, there's a sense of urgency in the air. Diddy's first 2 bail applications were shot down, with the court citing his potential flight risk and the serious nature of the charges against him. But here's where things get interesting. His legal team is coming at this third attempt from a different angle. They've learned from the past rejections, and now they're focusing on a more solid, strategic approach to convince the court that Diddy deserves to walk free. The key question, what has changed between those failed attempts and now?
Indeed, man. We got a lot to get into, man. I guess we could start with Diddy. How you feel about him asking the judge to grant him a bail?
Yo, I just got some information myself, man, because it was strange to me that every month he's going up for a bail hearing. And I know that seems strange to a lot of people. But when I spoke to my people over in the courts that I have over there, they told me when people got a lot of money and they got lawyers that can come up with different reasons and different information and present it to the courts, that they are able to get how many bail hearings, as long as you got different information to present to the court, different evidence.
For one, money still talks, and Diddy has plenty of it. His wealth is undeniable, and his legal team is betting that his financial stability will sway the court in his favor this time around. With his history of managing multi-million-dollar business ventures, they'll argue that he's not a flight risk and that his presence at the trial is assured. They'll also point to his exemplary track record in the community, his philanthropic efforts, and the argument that keeping him in jail is unnecessary when he has a solid history of compliance with the law. But let's be real, that's all surface-level appeal. The deeper issue is what's happening behind the scenes. New developments continue to emerge, and while Diddy's legal team may be pushing for bail, the prosecution is pushing back just as hard.
To present to the court to help his case or whatever, to get bail, they'll have one every month or every other month or whatever the lawyers present that. So you got to realize he got a lot of money. He still got a lot of money because he's paying these high profile lawyers to take this case. So in having them to take this case, they're able to construct a lot of information together to making sure that when they go to the courts, they can say, yo, Your Honor, listen here, this is something that's changed. This is something that's new. This is something that's different. And doing that, that's giving them the opportunity to see, can they get him bail? And it looked like he might get bail. Now you're wondering why I'm saying that. See, they are trying to use some of the things that happen to criminals all the time or inmates all the time. They always, brother, they always do those impromptu searches.
With every new piece of evidence, whether it's incriminating recordings, witness testimonies, or leaked phone calls, the court is likely to get more and more skeptical about the idea of releasing him. Diddy's been seen as a man with a lot of power, and the fear that he could influence witnesses or tamper with evidence is only growing. After all, his previous bail requests were denied in part because of the court's concern that he might run or use his influence to manipulate the situation. If Diddy's third bail attempt fails, it could send a message that even the rich and powerful can't escape the law.
And in one of the cases, in this particular case, they said that when they did the impromptu search, they took some of his legal information, and the judge ordered them to give that back. So I guess the lawyers are going to come up with a couple of new things saying that he can't properly, have his case be properly, what do you call it when they client get they client and lawyer privileges. He can't properly do his case with, you understand, with them constantly going into jail cells, searching him, taking his legal briefs, taking his information, and then probably using this against him. But I don't believe none of that to be true. I believe that they went in there just like they do all the other inmates based on the information they had. You got to realize this, bro. They found out that Diddy was using other inmates' phone cards. Now that probably happens all the time. You understand? And he got to be probably the smartest, dumbest person that I know, because he got to know that those phone calls are being taped. So whatever his lawyers and them come up with, the prosecution's going to come up with something else. So the judge is going to want to know, well, what did they do, when they found out he was in violations of some of this stuff that he was doing? Did they charge him with something new? Did they take some of his privileges away? What has happened in the interim of him doing this stuff that they alleged that he done? So it's going to be a whole forestry of next week, because what they did was they held off whatever the procedures was going to go down today. The judge say he going to revisit this next week. So I guess, I don't know if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll find out what's going on, but it's going to be something that I think it may shock the world.
Wow, so he might get out.
I think that.
On the flip side, if the court surprises everyone and grants him bail, it'll likely come with strict conditions. The court will probably impose surveillance, regular check-ins, and possibly even house arrest. There's also the possibility that Diddy could face a higher bail amount, given how the first two attempts played out and the ongoing pressure to ensure he doesn't try to flee the country. But let's not sugarcoat things. Diddy's situation is precarious. His empire is already under scrutiny, and if he's released on bail, the questions surrounding his case won't just disappear. If anything, his third bail hearing could be the moment where everything either falls apart or falls into place. Will the court side with his team and grant him temporary freedom, or will they see him as a man who's too dangerous to be trusted outside of jail? One thing's for sure, the tension is real, and this third attempt at bail could very well be Diddy's make-or-break moment. Will he walk free and buy himself more time to fight the charges, or will the court finally make the call that everyone's been waiting for? With the legal battle heating up and more evidence being unveiled, it's all eyes on that courtroom as we wait to see what happens next.